GearNetwork.com.
This is a Gear Network production.
Coming to you live from Rochester, New York, this is the FTW Podcast with John Cimino and Brandon Gorell. And now, here's John.
All the way live, ladies and gentlemen, from Gear Network Studios here in the suburbs of Rochester, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, the FTW Podcast is here, my babies. Brandon is here. Brandon, how are you, sir?
Yo, I'm good.
And as always, ladies and gentlemen, we would appreciate it if you use our affiliates on GearNetwork.com. Any one of them would work, especially and in particular, ShopGear.com takes you right to Amazon, your Amazon account. And when you do any of your Amazon shopping and buy sweet, awesome, like vinyls like Thriller or, you know, Hear My Dear or whatever the hell you buy.
What am I going to buy next? Oh, I'm going to buy Songs in the Key of Life next.
There you go. But you can do that on ShopGear.com, and it helps us out. And
actually, I just bought a charging pad for Apple Watch and my iPhone X.
Oh, okay.
I bought it off our Amazon site, and then I just had to buy a Q3 charger because it doesn't work with just the standard plug.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a lightning charge, and it's going to send all that charge to the magnetic coils.
No.
So right, a standard plug only powers my watch to be charged and won't charge my phone. So I ordered that. It'll be on here on Friday.
That's weird.
It's pretty dope, though.
Cool.
It looks like a little phone. It just sits on my nightstand, and I can put my watch here and then lay my phone on it, and it'll charge without cords.
Huh.
It's pretty dope.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on today's show, we are talking football. I know we took a week off last week. Life, of course, got in the way, as usual, but we are here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, what happened? We were going to do Friday night, too, and just never happened.
I have no idea.
I was just sitting around, and I was like, well, not really doing anything. And then I was like, 11 o'clock, I was like, I thought I was supposed to do something today. And I was like, oh, we were supposed to podcast today, because what happened? We were supposed to do Tuesday, weren't we?
I think we were supposed to do Tuesday.
No.
And that didn't work. And then Thursday...
No, it was supposed to be...
No, Thursday.
It was supposed to be Thursday.
But then it was like a concert or something, right?
No, I went and saw John Cusack.
Oh,
I got to see Say Anything, and then I got to do a meet and greet with John Cusack, which was pretty dope. Especially when he tore into Trump, and Trump supporters left slamming doors.
Are you serious?
Pretty damn hilarious, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's incredible.
He's like, yo, you mean... Because Jack Garner asked him, and he pulled no punches. He's just like... What do you think about the current situation that's going on in Washington? He goes, oh, you mean Nazi Trump? I was like, whoop, here we go. Strap in. And I look back at Russ, because Russ was sitting 2 rows behind me. I look over at him, and I was like, whoa. And he goes, it's coming.
Oh, man.
And he did not hold back. And my buddy Chris was sitting towards the back, so I couldn't see, like, behind me. There was only 2 rows in front of me, and nobody left there. But he told me he's like maybe like 10 to 20 people just made the exit, and one guy was like arguing with his wife about it, and he like slammed the door on his way out, and is like, dude, unless you've lived under a rock, you know John Cusack is mighty, mighty liberal.
Yeah.
And if you can't handle a few minutes of him, talking shit about him, and you paid money to go see his movie in 35mm film, they showed Say Anything, and then he did a Q&A for half an hour with Jack Garner, and then he did another half hour with fan questions. He's lined up 2 mics on each side, and people came down that were selected at random. My buddy Chris was actually selected for that too, and they got to ask questions and shoot the shit with him, and it's pretty funny. And then afterwards, we got led back in the back, and where they had like a little red carpet type thing, and we got to take pictures with Mr. Cusack. He said he liked it here, and said he wants to come back to this theater. He said he really thinks it's a beautiful theater. And
this is the Auditorium Center?
No, Kodak Center.
Kodak Center, okay.
Yeah, the Kodak theater that they redid. And he says he was hoping to show either High Fidelity or Grosse Point Blank, which are my 2 other favorite Cusack movies. So I hope he brings it on. It was
All
pretty
right.
dope.
Pretty cool.
So that's why we didn't podcast last week.
Right.
Sorry, fuckers.
Yeah, whatever.
I was too busy being a star whore.
It was what it was.
Yeah.
No big deal. But I'll tell you what has been. What's been each season
Eventful.
starts off weird.
Yeah.
Each football season starts off weird. We're gonna circle back into the football talk here since that's what we do. 2 weeks, Brandon, 2 ties.
Yeah.
At the end of week 1, which we didn't cover last week because we didn't have a podcast, the Cleveland Browns broke their losing streak with a tie.
Yeah.
And then last week, Brandon, your boys
Yeah, bullshit.
tied with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that, really. I mean, like, there were so many things about that game that were just a little off. One thing in particular that's caused a lot of outrage was that call on Clay Matthews.
Yeah. It was horrible.
I know...
Completely pathetic.
You were not watching the game, but did you have a chance to review
Oh,
the
I watched the so with DirecTV I got the Sunday Ticket Max, and what it does is at like 6 hours or 8 hours after the game ends, they give you shortcuts, and it just basically plays every play for you for both sides. It just plays through the entire game without commercials and the whole timeouts and guys wandering around or instant replay. It just goes through the game, and it's cut down to like 45 minutes. And I watched it, and it was the most bogus bullshit call. I really don't know what defenders are supposed to do to quarterbacks anymore. I mean, he went in, he hit him as the ball was being released from his hands. He hit him in the midsection. He didn't pick him up and drive him into the ground like Correnti tried to claim that he burped him, which is a term that where you basically you lift their feet and body off the ground and then drive them into the turf. He didn't even put his body weight on him. When he landed with Cousins on the ground, he only used his arm around him. His whole body landed on the turf. So they tried to claim he roughed him because he picked him up and drove him into the ground. He did not pick him up. He launched himself forward, shoulder tackle to the midsection, arm wrapped around. There was no lifting. It was one arm around him. If Clay Matthews, in a prone position where he's in the air, can lift up Kirk Cousins with one arm and drive him into the turf, then sign this up for Mr. Olympian, because that is the strongest man in the world.
Right.
You cannot pick up a 200-plus pound man in the air with one arm in flight, take his feet off the fucking ground, and then drive him into the ground.
Right.
It's not possible. Brett Favre was on Sirius. I was listening to him this morning. He goes, that's a textbook tackle.
Yeah.
He's like, we teach that to our kids because he's coaching. He's like, that's how you tackle. He's like, I don't see what was wrong. He says, and they're telling him, he said, what's more discouraging is that the head of the refs union is saying that they're going to use that as an example for textbook foul. He goes, that's a textbook tackle. He's like, so I don't understand how this is going to be a foul for the rest of the year. He's like, there's going to be a lot of bad things happening if that's going to continue to be ruled a roughing the passer. And then on that play, that wiped out Jair Alexander's interception that would have sealed the game.
Right.
Green Bay would have just handed off once, made him call their next timeout, kneeled a couple of times, and then maybe had to punt with like 15, 20 seconds left. It was complete garbage. It cost Green Bay a game. Minnesota, on the other hand, got cost the game because they had a kicker who doesn't know how to kick a football. He missed one in regulation.
Right.
Also, that fucking rule's got to go away. The timeout before a fucking kick.
Oh, yes.
The biggest bunch of bullshit. The guy goes and calls it just before the ball is snapped. The ball gets snapped. The whistles start going off. He goes and kicks it. He makes the 52-yard field goal. Crosby does. Nope, doesn't count. Gotta wait. Timeout was called. So you're sitting there waiting for the timeout. Then he goes to kick it again, and he, of course, hooks it left. And it goes overtime. After Rodgers gets fucking 30 seconds left in the game, and he drives him down the field to get him a fucking field goal.
He's a bad man. We know
it's just
this.
ridiculous.
He's a bad man.
But then you get to overtime, and they get two. One was a 48-yarder, a little more challenging. He missed it. But I thought for sure, I'm at a wedding, and I'm watching the updates on my phone, and it's during cocktail hour. I got my Moscow Mule in one hand, and I got my phone in the other, and my dad's standing around me. He's like, I'm going to go out for a smoke. It looks like they're going to lose. I was like, yeah, it sucks. And so I go and I look, and it refreshes, and it says, game over, 29-29. I was like, what? I was like, he missed a 34-yard field goal? I'm like, that guy's not coming home with the team. They're going to leave him at the bus station.
Yes.
They're not going to bring that guy back.
Yes.
So it is a wild game. Green Bay should be 2-0 by all rights. The league's gotta chill, man. They cannot ever find like a middle ground. It's either all or nothing with them. Like, it's always too extreme. Before it was like, they wanted to get away from props with celebrations. So they basically made all celebrations pretty much irrelevant. And then they're like, well, people are complaining about that, so we'll bring it back again because it's not really hurting anybody. And so now we've got this thing where Rodgers gets hurt last year, misses an entire season. We've had other quarterbacks hit, that have missed a good amount of time, due to injury because of, quarterback hits. So they're trying to protect the quarterback. I get that, but that's way too far.
Oh, yeah.
Way too far. I mean, you can't hit him low. You can't hit him in the head. So you literally have a strike zone where you can hit a guy, which is like
chest,
shoulder length maybe, and chest down to the waist. And that's where Clay Matthews hit him. You can't put your body weight on him. Clay Matthews did not do that. You can't drive them into the ground. He did not drive him in the ground. I don't know who can look at that play and say, yeah, he picked him up and drove him in the ground. There's no way. There's no way.
I did see that, and I was, as I often am, very confused with, the rules and what's called in some games is not called in others, and I just don't get how the NFL has not, with all of the money that they print money, and with all of the money that they print, they can't be consistent with their officiating and do what many people thought they should have done years ago, which is hire full-time refs.
Well, they have. They have full-time refs.
But how many?
They're not all full-time refs. What they're going to be doing is they've got full-time refs in training, and then as guys retire, they're going to be getting replaced. So they have full-time refs that are working now. They still have holdovers, but those holdovers are getting close to retirement time. So they have it. It's just that there's too many fucking rules.
There really is.
There's too many rules and too many interpretations of each rule and subsets of a rule. There's like, Article 1, 1A, 1B, 1C.
And that's the thing where...
And that's where you lose fans.
Fans of alternative football leagues. And I also... I do follow the CFL as well, so I'm in tune with their fan base. And the most that I see, like, with those people... is that they tend to enjoy that product of football, not necessarily because of the play or the names or anything like that, but it's because of the fact that the players are allowed to do things, and rules are pretty cut and dry. They don't overextend it like a flag every two or three plays, it seems, with CFL games. Granted, they only have 8 teams, but that's besides the case. And I think that, the AAF... I don't know how, like, when the AAF starts immediately following the Super Bowl, I don't know how well they're going to, are they going to mirror the NFL well? Are they going to try and take the feedback that's coming from NFL fans and all this crap to try and apply, to their league? Nothing, not doing that or whatever. And breaking news and Politico here. Senate Republicans had planned a Monday hearing with Christine Blasey
Ford. Oh, that's already new. We already knew that.
And Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
And it'll be a shit show. It'll be a bunch of fucking douches attacking.
Anyways.
It's Anita Hill Part 2.
I'm wondering if the new leagues that'll come will try to avoid some of this NFL
I think
problem.
that they're going to take everything that people don't like about the league and try to incorporate it in their own. And they're going to run into the problem that the NFL runs into, which is all or nothing. So they're going to go with nothing. And then guys are going to be getting hurt, and there's going to be just, the Wild West out there. So it's about finding a common ground and finding a middle. It's too extreme. I mean, make a rule simple. You cannot hit a quarterback, within within a second and a half or 2 seconds of the ball being released. And you can't hit him high and you can't hit him low. That should be the end of it. The rest of this rule where, like, well, you can't pick them up and then drop them to the ground. You can't drive them into the ground. You can't put your body weight on them onto the ground. Like, and then but it doesn't apply to sacks, though. So, like, if you sack a guy and he goes down and your body weight ends up on top of him, they don't throw flags for that usually. It's for the late hits. The ones where the ball's out. They feel like, well, if you're going to drive them into the ground after the play, they're not braced for it. They're not ready. They're in a vulnerable position because, they've let a football go. And I get all of that, but there's just way too much. And these guys, they're already handcuffed on the defensive side where you got defensive backs can't touch a receiver. You got defensive backs that go try to make a tackle on a running back, and then the running back can grab their face mask and throw them to the ground. But if you even touch or graze a face mask from the defensive side, you get a personal foul. The defenses are getting screwed hardcore, and it's just making it worse for these guys. Like, you're paying these guys to get after the quarterback, but when they get to the quarterback, now they have to do that famous meme where they're like calculating all these fucking math equations in their head as to where, how long, when, how much weight, where they can put the emphasis on a hit of a guy. And it's like, now you're going to get defensive guys hurt. Because you're going to have guys that are going to pull up and try to miss him, and they're going to go diving into the ground, and they're going to end up dislocating a wrist, or they're going to end up like breaking a finger, or doing some dumb shit. I mean, we've seen guys tear ACLs from jumping up and celebrating. I just think that in trying to protect a quarterback, they're going to water down and soften up the league too much. And it's going to come to a point where it's like, what are we going to do? Are we going to do it like the Pro Bowl, where you can't hit the quarterback? You just got to kind of hug him and he's down? Like, is it get like a 5-second shotgun?
I fear that's where
like what we used to do street football, like 5-second shotgun, no blitz. Like,
in about,
and you got to cover these world-class gazelles with quarterbacks just standing back there with no pressure on them, trying to zing the ball down the field. You're going to have scores of 198 in the final scores because defenses won't be allowed to play.
Right, exactly.
It's bananas, man. It's 2 weeks in a row. It's frustrated me because it frustrated me in that Steelers-Browns game. Roethlisberger on 3rd and long gets hit. And they said Jarrett Jack, put his whole body weight on him, which he didn't.
Right. It
wasn't late, wasn't anything.
The NFL
drove him into the ground and used your body weight.
You think the NFL's different now than it was 10 years ago? I cringe to see what it's going to look like in 10 years from now.
Here's the other part of it too. They did 2 controversial rules. The other one was the lowering of the head to make a tackle, and we saw through the preseason there was just a shitload of penalties called for that. We've had 2 so far this year in the regular season. So, again, they're all over the damn place.
There you go.
Still don't know what a catch is. Still.
Oh, no. Nobody
have problems with that.
Yep. All right, speaking of catches, let's go from that to moving over to Josh Gordon.
Guy who catches weed and balls.
And he's going to be catching balls now.
From the GOAT.
From the greatest of all time, Mr. Tom Brady. As he was traded from Cleveland on Saturday. Well, on Saturday, the alert went out that he was he was going to be cut on Monday, and then on Sunday we started hearing reports that they were going to try and trade him first, and that there were some teams interested. And the 2 teams that came out of the forefront were the Patriots and the Texans. We're talking about wanting to acquire him. Obviously, he ends up going to the
Josh
Patriots.
Gordon was stoned, like, I want to go to the Niners and Cowboys, and then he's like. Well, your options were one in the state of Texas, and then the other one is, I guess, the other dynasty team with the Patriots. So I don't know, man. Josh is still in space, I guess.
And he is, but he's going there now. In return, Cleveland is getting a 5th-round pick next year. It's depending on which Josh Gordon you get. I think it's going to open up, and I believe that they went for this. They pulled the trigger on this because Jacksonville cracked the code with New England last week. Tom Coughlin, flat out, he just knows what to do to beat the Patriots.
He didn't last year.
He didn't last year, no, but this year. Their defense, the Jags defense made the plays that they needed to play. The offensive line protected the hell out of Blake Bortles and made Blake Bortles look like Dan Marino. And they couldn't hit. They were double teaming Gronk. They didn't have Julian Edelman. Amendola's not there anymore. He's not throwing to... Brady's not really throwing to anybody. He's not throwing to... Their receiving core was just terrible. So they get this play. Now, assuming Josh Gordon plays 10 games or more, the Patriots will be happy with that. But if Josh Gordon... I almost keep saying Josh Allen. If Josh Gordon does not suit up for 10 games... then Cleveland will then send them a compensation pick, like a 6th or 7th round or something like that. On top of that, good move for the Patriots or bad move?
It's a great move. It's a great move. The guy's ridiculous, and if anyone's going to whip your ass into shape, it's going to be Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Gordon's not going to be able to mess around. The guy's got ridiculous talent. And he's been playing in a quarterback graveyard in Cleveland. Tyrod Taylor is not the solution there.
No, he's not the problem either.
He's not the problem, but he's not going to...
Jackson's the problem at this point.
No, he's not.
He sucks.
No, he doesn't.
I'm sorry.
No, he doesn't. The defense is playing well. The offense is not there because Tyrod Taylor is not the quarterback. He is not... He's doing what he did in Buffalo. He's not going to lose you a game, but he's also not going to win you a game. They are also a bad field goal kicker away from being 2-0. So you can't put that all on Hugh Jackson.
Fair. Okay.
They're not a bad team, and they're going to beat the Jets this Sunday. Sorry. I know it's your team.
I'm picking the Jets.
You can pick the Jets.
I'm picking them, but yes, I don't think.
I think Cleveland's defense is just so nasty. I just can't see the Jets mustering enough on defense.
I said before the Jets game this week that this was good, that week 2 was going to be a big game for the Jets. We were going to find out either the Jets were better than everybody thought they were, or the Lions were worse than everybody thought they were.
The Lions are worse,
and the Lions are worse.
Yeah, the Jets aren't horrible, but I don't think. I think everyone just loves to drown up the old, Cleveland sucks. They've only won one game in the last 2 seasons, and they are 2 field goals away from being in first place, tied with the Bengals at 2-0.
I've got to say though, it's
they played the Steelers and the Saints.
It's funny
on the road. The Saints too.
It's funny to say because it's happened for so long.
Yeah,
and I thought I was gonna. I thought I was gonna have. I had my finger on the button for.
Yeah. All
right, get them beer coolers open. Get the beer coolers open.
Yeah.
And I was gonna go crack a beer, and then.
Nope.
It didn't happen. So
so Gordon going to New England is a great move for New England. The reason New England lost last week is not because Tom Coughlin is some magic genius. It's because they have no fucking receivers. They've got nobody playing wideout. What are you going to... Chris Hogan's going to make somebody really intimidated? They doubled Gronk the whole game.
Right.
They bracket coverage them.
Right.
Jalen Ramsey's out there talking, I know how to shut down Gronk. You don't know how to shut down shit. You can't shut him down one-on-one. Get your little ass out of the way. You guys double. They bracketed him. They bracketed him the whole goddamn game. Brady's most completions came to his running back.
Yeah.
Because that's the only guy he can trust out there.
Yeah.
They don't have receivers. So if Gordon gets his head together and can learn the playbook and get out there, he's going to do great. Mm-hmm. And it's going to make the Patriots even more dangerous because if he starts playing well and he keeps playing well, then you got Edelman back. Now you have 2 great receivers and you've got Gronkowski. Now who are you going to double?
Right.
Because you're going to put some attention to Gordon? Okay, well, I can hit Edelman. You're going to put attention on Edelman? Fine, then he's going to hit Gronkowski. And it's going to be back to the thing. So everyone's kind of like, Patriots didn't look so impressive the first 2 weeks. They're 1-1, and the Jaguars, they don't have the personnel.
The worst is Dolphins fans with that shit.
Yeah, Dolphins fans, I don't even want to acknowledge them. We're just going to pretend they don't exist. They're the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
They're Cowboys AFC.
They are Cowboys AFC.
Without the rings.
Sorry, Tommy.
So, Brady's, honestly, I think offensively, this is the worst personnel he's had probably in the last 10 years. With Edelman be suspended. What's his face? Cooks left after last year, right?
Brandon Cooks was traded.
Yeah, he was traded.
To the Rams.
And now they have Josh Gordon to go along with Edelman on his way back in 2 games. So if Gordon can bridge the gap for the next 2 games and plays well, and then you got Edelman in there too, Brady's back in business again. And it goes back to being New England and everybody else in the AFC.
Absolutely.
NFC, on the other hand, it's kind of... NFC is... it kind of reminds me of the Western Conference in the NBA right now.
Right.
You've got Green Bay, really tough. Their defense has improved. You've got Aaron Rodgers. They're always going to be good. Minnesota, great defense. Kirk Cousins, with those 2 receivers, with Thielen and Diggs, he's got some weapons over there, so Minnesota's tough. Chicago's defense is just manhandling teams.
Yes.
Sans the second half against Green Bay. They were all over Wilson last night. Held them to 1 yard in the third quarter.
Yeah.
They got a garbage time touchdown.
And they were
already really good.
Good defense anyways, and you add Khalil Mack on there.
Right. You add Khalil Mack, that's an elite defense. Yeah. Then you've got the New Orleans Saints, who have underperformed so far to expectations. They're everyone's sleeper pick. Not really. It's actually more of a popular pick to go to the Super Bowl and win this year.
They were my pick for the Super Bowl.
So you got the Saints. You got the Falcons are always going to be in it. Falcons looked pretty good last week. They won their game. They barely lost to the Eagles in the first week. They had their chance to win that one too. You've got the Eagles are defending champs. They're going to play well, and they're going to continue to play well. Carson Wentz comes back this week, so they're set with their quarterback. Then you go to the West, and you've got the 49ers are up and coming. And then you have the LA Rams, who are... I can't even point to a flaw on that team. You've got Todd Gurley. You've got Jared Goff slinging it around. They got a pretty good offensive line. They've got good receivers. They got Brandon Cooks as the aforementioned trade. They've got Cooper Kupp. They've got... what's his name? Woods. And then they've got Todd Gurley in the backfield. Then you look at that defense, and it's disgusting. So the Rams are also at the top. So you have a dogfight over there. And then when you go to the AFC, you got the Jaguars, and you've got the Patriots, and maybe Cincinnati. AJ Green looks like more dominant than I've seen him in a long time, and their defense is playing pretty well.
Dalton's playing well, too.
Dalton's playing pretty well, too. But really, the Steelers have fallen off. Their defense is atrocious. The Raiders suck. Denver, I'm not sure what to make of Denver yet. Denver has 2 wins. They played well in both those wins, but they eked out victories.
Right.
Week 1, they, just battered Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. And then last week... they got the last minute drive to win their game.
Right.
This week with Case Keenum, who's fitting in nicely in Denver right now. And then you have the Chiefs. Chiefs are playing well. Mahomes is playing really well.
Yep.
Who
would have guessed that?
Everybody. Anyone Andy Reid touches, the guy fucking makes into a great quarterback. It doesn't matter who they put out there. He revives careers. He creates careers. I don't think Donovan McNabb would be Donovan McNabb without Andy Reid.
No, not at all.
I don't think he would. I think he would have been a good quarterback, but I don't think he would have been a great quarterback.
No.
Alex Smith was really good in Kansas City. He took care of him. Wasn't Nick Foles there when his last season?
Nick Foles was his guy in Philadelphia the last season.
Yeah,
yes.
The last season he was there. So, and you look at what he did to Nick Foles then.
He was also a backup in Kansas City.
Yeah.
When Foles was actually out of the league because he couldn't get a job.
Yeah.
He needed a backup. Reid called Foles.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter who Andy Reid touches. The guy knows how to develop quarterbacks. Andy Reid worked with Brett Favre.
Right.
the guy knows quarterbacks.
Yes.
He just knows quarterbacks. The rest of the team, he's sometimes become a little clueless on personnel. But
and with that, Bills fans, of course, go back to last year's draft and last year's trade, and are like, "Oh, we could have had him." But
you could have had Mahomes, but then you have that personnel. And what helps Mahomes is he's got Kareem Hunt and Tyreek Hill.
okay,
Those are two fucking dynamic players.
they are dynamic players,
And
now,
you don't have that in Buffalo.
now. So you can't hear because you didn't bring your headphones today.
Nope.
But I have kicked off the old NFL prime time and CBS Mega Mix music, Brandon, because it is time for NFL Quick Hits.
Oh,
All right, so let's start here. Where's that tackle sound? There it is. Some of the league leaders in stats and things like that. Check this out. For your Bills fans, running back Marcus Murphy leads the NFL with 213 kickoff return yards. Hey, Jets fans, Jason Myers is an NFL high 12 touchbacks. Wonderful.
Green Bay's got a good punter.
Gotta lead somewhere. Patriots quarterback has Tom Brady has a 104.1 passer rating. Brandon A.J. Green leads the NFL with 4 touchdown catches. Excuse me.
I have him on my fantasy team. I love it.
Yes, indeed. And also to Matt Stafford, he has a league high 4 interceptions. So Packers kicker Mason Crosby has made 6 field goals and attempted 7 field goals, the most in the NFL there. And Rams running back Todd Gurley, Brandon, 39 rushing attempts, is tied for most in the NFL. So, in case you didn't know.
Now you do.
Now you do. Moving up to the top, we're going to go top 5 here in the power rankings here. Number 5, the Eagles. They were number 1 last week. They went down to 5. But Carson Wentz is coming back. He is going to be starting the game on Sunday. The Buccaneers move up to number 4, believe it or not, with Deshaun Jackson saying flat out, I want Ryan Fitzpatrick to keep throwing the ball.
Absolutely.
Has he
you
not
can't
seen,
take him out.
Has he not seen what happens, though?
It doesn't matter.
It's just Fitzmagic.
You know what, though? Fitzpatrick had a really good season with the Jets.
He did.
He had a really shitty one. He had a really good second half with the Texans.
That's who he is.
You keep him in until you don't.
Right.
And until he stumbles. But you don't just like, well, Jameis is back, so thanks for the wins, Ryan.
Right.
Like, he's got connection. He's got those guys believing in him. They like him. They're having fun.
Right.
They're winning games.
Right.
I mean,
bring back the creamsicle orange is all I ask.
They've got some serious, like, the wideouts are playing some ridiculous football right now.
The Chiefs have moved up to the number 3. They're 2-0. They were number 7 last week. Patrick Mahomes, Brandon, 10 touchdown passes, leads the league. 6 of them last week.
Yep.
That's insane. The Rams are considered the best team in the NFC right now. 2-0. They are number 2. The Jacksonville Jaguars move up 3 spots to the number 1.
That's crap.
Spot.
Because they beat an undermanned Patriots.
They beat the Patriots, who,
Get out of
by
here.
the way, moved down from number 2 to number...
Power rankings are stupid.
Yeah, they're stupid, especially in the early weeks. But
They had a lot of 1-1 teams still ahead of like teams like Tampa and Denver. Teams that are 2-0 and have played a solid 2-0. Cincinnati.
Right.
You know, get out of here.
Brandon, much was made about Antonio
Don't make me
Brown.
break out the Bills voice. They don't respect us.
Antonio Brown, much was made about a response that he had to a Steelers employee who openly criticized the receiver for saying, quote, if he did not have Ben Roethlisberger as his quarterback, he would not be making the touchdowns, and he would not be the playmaker that he is. To which Antonio Brown responded, trade me, let's find out. Of course, now everybody's up in arms. Is this what he wants? Antonio Brown did not report to camp on Monday, or practice on Monday. Apparently, though, the Coach Tomlin knew about it. He addressed it. Your thoughts on that? Much ado about nothing?
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah. So,
They're just frustrated. They're losing.
of course.
The defense looks awful.
Moving back to Tampa,
Awful.
Brandon. Uber driver sues Jameis Winston. You hear about this?
Yeah.
The Uber driver who accused Jameis Winston of, quote, grabbing her by the you-know-what, thank you, President Dickhead, has filed a lawsuit against the Buccaneers quarterback. She said that in March 2016 in Arizona, She drove him through a restaurant drive-thru, and he reached out and did what the president said famous people could do. Brandon, now I know we talked about, Jameis Winston. Yes, he is due back. Ryan Fitzpatrick, fortunately for Bucs fans, is the hot hand, but what does this do? I mean, he's been nothing but controversial with some of the choices he's made since he's gotten in the league. At what point is enough going to be enough with Jameis Winston?
I don't know. This is still the same.
I'm not a fan of the guy, honestly.
This is still the same incident. It's not like it's a new incident. It's just now that he's been in trouble, the person wants money.
So he's being Me Too'd.
Not he's being Me Too'd. He did do something. Mm-hmm. But now they're seeking monetary damages. So it's the same incident. I don't know. He's still a knucklehead. Hopefully he's getting his shit together. But I still wouldn't start him until Fitzpatrick stumbles.
Indeed. And
week 6 or week 10 or week never. I mean, you just don't take him out.
Dan Bailey, 1 year, $2 million deal to sign with the Vikings. Good move, bad move?
Oh, that's a great move for the Vikings. Sucks for us. I don't want them to have a good kicker.
Good for them. We are over on time. We're going to hit a commercial break, and we'll be right back. Hey everyone, you like the music that you hear? Whether it's a background music on the commercial, a selection from either Brandon or myself on Football Talk Weekly, myself on TJCMS, or maybe the Turnbuckle Talk Radio podcast, folks, played a wrestling theme that you just dig and you want to hear over and over and over again. Well, I'll tell you what. Gear Network can hook you up with Amazon Music Unlimited 30-day free trial. You can listen to tens of millions of songs, any song, anywhere, with new releases from today's most popular artist. You can listen to it ad-free with unlimited skips. And the best part, the most awesome part, you can save that data if you're still on one of them tiered data plans like I am. You can download it for offline listening. Better yet, if you have Amazon Echo at home, because I know you do, you can just ask Alexa to play whatever song you want, and they'll do it for you, just like that. It's kind of crazy. After the 30-day trial, you're really going to like this. The price for this is amazing. $7.99 a month or $79 a year for an individual plan for Prime members, or $14.99 a month, $149 a year for a family plan for Prime members. Or if you just want to go with just the Echo, because you like the Echo, you have the Echo at your house, and you want to just do an Echo plan, hey, $3.99 a month. You can't go wrong there. If you're also a student, you get a discount as well. Head to GearNetwork.com. On the top bar, it says Support the Shows. Under Shop Amazon, you will find the Amazon Music Unlimited free trial link right there, and you can click that and sign up for a free 30-day trial of Amazon Music Unlimited. This podcast does receive a special bonus if you do sign up and use the 30 days, even if you don't keep it. So it helps us out tremendously. But if Amazon is not your thing as well, right to the left of Support the Shows is the donate button, and we accept PayPal in any denomination. As always, thank you for your likes, your shares, your listens, your support, your shopping through Amazon, your donates through PayPal on GearNetwork.com. IndyCard Media is your one-stop shop for quality designs at a quality price. They offer merchandising, company branding, event posters, custom clothing designs, and so much more. Check out their gallery of past designs by visiting Facebook.com/IndyCard Media and tell them what you think. That's IndyCard Media, 337-446-4331 or IndyCardMafia@gmail.com. Tell them that we sent you. Again, 337-446-4331. IndyCard Media. Bring your designs to life. You spring, I spring, we all spring for Teespring. You know what that means? As corny as that was, yes, I know it's corny as hell, we have a t-shirt store. It is up and it is running. And right now we have 8 shirts, but it is growing. The merchandise is growing. Right now we have shirts going from as little as $13 for a TJCMS first t-shirt to $20 for a Gear Network logo t-shirt. All of them available to be delivered right to your front door. You choose your size, you choose your style, and you go. It's as simple as that, and there are plenty more t-shirts to come, but take a look at our Teespring store. If you go to GearNetwork.com, under the Support the Shows banner and 4 links down is Gear Merchandise. That will take you directly to our Teespring store, and you can see all of our selection of our current shirts right now, our current merchandise. Thank you again for all of your support and using our links on GearNetwork.com. All right, well, before we go to pick 'em, welcome back, everybody, by the way. We haven't done this in a while, so Brandon, obscure product of the week, go ahead. Can you think of something?
Oh, man.
Doesn't even need to be a...
Fleshlight.
Flashlight?
Fleshlight.
Fleshlight. I believe we tried this before.
Did we?
Fleshlight, Flesh to Water, The Little Book of Butts.
No, they don't have flashlights.
No, they don't have fleshlights. Hold on. Fleshlights for adult men. Let's try this. Oh, hey, there we go.
There you go.
There we go.
I was gonna say they carry vajankles.
If you would like a lifelike love doll, realistic TPE doll for men, TPE silicone doll adult massager toy. It's $35.99 and you can get it on shopgear.com, which takes you right to your Amazon account. You know, I'm afraid of what my fucking browsing history is going to now bring up when I'm starting to go to the website here.
Oh,
Great.
you just know. Wait till the next obscure product.
Oh, great. All right.
You're
Well,
fucked.
anyways, obscure product or not, when you buy from shopgear.com, you help us out. We get a small commission from your purchases, and that goes a long way to helping our cause, helping cover production costs. All right, Gear Network Pick'em, ladies and gentlemen. We both kind of bombed out on the Pick'em for the Thursday night game last week.
Yeah, I forgot all about it.
Which is good, but out of 6...
I was in a John Cusack stronghold. That's all I could think about.
Week one, I had 10 points. Brandon had 5. Week 2, I had 8. Brandon had 7. My total is 18. That's some math for you. Brandon's total is 12. Out of the 6-person Gear Network Pick'em this year, it's growing. It's growing.
Hey.
Brandon, you are 4th place out of 6. I am 1st.
Of course
I lead.
Rigged.
I lead Pat G from the Turnbuckle Talk Radio podcast by 2 points right now.
Rigged.
By 2 percentage points. But we did pick this week.
Yep.
All the games up to and including
Thursday
the
night.
Thursday night game, which I know you picked the Browns, I picked the Jets. We already kind of talked about that. So same thing I'll do is I'll go down the line. If we have a disagreement, tell me why. So
Sure.
Saints Falcons.
I got the Falcons.
I got them as well. Vikings Bills.
Vikings.
Bengals Panthers.
Bengals.
Broncos Ravens.
Broncos.
Okay. Packers Redskins.
Packers, obviously.
Titans Jags.
Jags.
Eagles Colts.
Eagles.
Niners Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Dolphins Raiders.
Dolphins.
Texans Giants.
Texans.
Rams Chargers.
Rams.
Bears Cardinals.
Bears.
Cowboys Seahawks.
T-Hawks.
Pats Lions.
Pats.
Steelers Bucs.
Bucks. Well, that was a great, exciting segment there. A lot of disagreement.
So we covered.
So the standings will stay the same, at least for you and I.
So, no, because I picked the Jets, you picked the Browns.
Oh, yeah. There's our only
That's our one
disagreement.
disagreement.
And we talked about it
We
earlier.
already talked about that. So, yeah.
Well done, sir. Well
Brandon,
done.
do you like stuff?
I do like stuff.
All right, cool.
I bought stuff on Amazon from our site, remember?
Very cool, very cool. Well, I guess then that really wraps up the show. I mean, we had a very, very long overrun anyways.
We did.
In the first segment, so it's cool that we got. But before we do that, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
Camping.
Camping!
Yeah.
Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Football Talk Weekly. We're not really going to be recording
The road
from
show.
but we are going on a road trip, and maybe, just maybe, on GearNetwork.com or Facebook.com/TFTW podcast. Myself, Mr. Brennan Gorell, and maybe even V10 will,
Maybe we'll go live video or something.
Go live video.
Act
and
like
just
jerk-offs around the fire.
start talking smack and whatever. Who cares?
Talk about that exciting Thursday night game that just happened.
Oh, yes, the Thursday night game. We'll think of something. That actually should be very, very, very fun. But with that being said, I'm going to kick it back old school style with Johnny Be Good playing us out.
Hey!
But that's going to do it for us this week. We are going on the road, as we said. Stay in touch with us on social media. I am at DJC Money on Twitter. Brandon is Brandon Escorel on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook, Facebook.com/TFTW Podcast, and Gear Network as well. And I invite you to like us on Spreaker.
I can't wait till the...
Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. All of the Gear Network programming is individualized on iHeartRadio as well, baby. We are expanding, baby.
All right.
You were saying?
Yeah, I said I can't wait till like the playoff podcast because I won't have to wear these aligners anymore.
No?
So I don't have to lisp anymore. I can have a normal speaking voice again. It's going to be a different voice, I think. It might be different having my teeth
take the liners
fixed.
out and he's gonna sound like this.
I'm going to sound amazing.
I'm from the IRS. But, all right, anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. We will talk to you next week. Brandon, good day to you, sir.
Good day to you.
So long, everybody. Good night now. Flavor Flav, you know what to do.
Yeah, boy!
Remember to see more National Football League action next week.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.